Welcome back. Politics and religion is a hot issue. That was no different during the years Ralph Klein served as a journalist, as the mayor of Calgary, and as his time in the Alberta legislature. In part 3 of our interview with the now ex-politician, he thinks the days of religion and politics are over. As I think about First Nations people, I think that there's been such tragedy in the Canadian history around issues of residential schools, for instance. What do you think is the answer? How should Canadians rethink their interaction and how they've treated First Nations people?
Well, first of all, they've got to understand what First Nations people went through. And I learned about it firsthand. And some of the stories that were passed on to me were horror stories about kids being taken to residential schools on the Blackfoot Reserve, on the Siksika Reserve. Their heads were shaved. They weren't allowed to speak their own language. Every Sunday was a payday. In other words, for everything they did bad, it was recorded by the nuns. It was recorded by the nuns, and before they were sent home on Sundays, it was payday. They got a whack on the behind for abuse, every bad thing that they did.
And this is obviously in the collective memory of these people, and that's obviously affected them in deep, deep ways.
Well, it affected me.
Yeah.
You know, I used to talk about it, and I reported on it long before it was in fashion.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's in the 70s, and it's only now we're starting to understand some of these issues. Just even this year, the last few months, the Canadian government recognized that.
That is quite true. Payday.
That's amazing.
Sundays.
Let's talk about religion and politics in general. I'm fascinated on your approach on that. I think about the election in the United States right now and the issue of the religious right and the Democrats and Republicans. Everyone's claiming religion at some level. What is the appropriate place of the use of faith in politics?
Well, you know, I think that faith, you know, I'm involved in the, with Preston Manning. Now, his father was an evangelist.
Yes, a preacher on the radio.
A preacher on the radio, right. And I used to, I remember doing the Wheat Pool News on CFCN radio. It used to be the farmer station. And you would read the newscast. Then you would change your tone, go into the birthday greetings, change your tone, go into the obituaries. Then you would introduce George Winkler with the Alberta Livestock Market Report. Then you would introduce on the byways, on the highways, over the mountains, across the prairies, here's Arna C. Manning. And, but Preston is a wonderful person. I think the day of politics and religion has come to an end. Now, there are some people with Christian principles that want us to get involved in thorny issues vis-a-vis abortion, same-sex marriage.
Which is something you tried to stop, and you were not happy with that direction of Canada.
No, I wasn't happy. And, you know, notwithstanding what I've just said, the fact is that you do have to deal with religious realities.
And you're saying that but to mix them you think is dangerous?
I think it's dangerous. I think it's dangerous to get into the issue of abortion, to get into the issue of same-sex marriage, to get into the issues of homosexuality. I think that politically it's dangerous. But the reality is that you have to deal with these issues from time to time. Now, on the abortion issue, I can tell you, in the election of 1993, I was running against a very popular former mayor of Edmonton, Lawrence Decore, who's since passed away.
We have a minute left, sorry. Keep going.
And Lawrence was on finances, I was on finances, then he got into abortion. And he lost the election.
So you're saying this is a very sticky subject, and you're saying be really careful around these kind of social issues. We have about a minute left, as I said. As you project out, what do you think is what is the direction that Canada needs to go as far as issues of the economy goes?
As far as issues of the economy, they've got to pay attention to Ontario and bolster the pulp and paper industry and the car manufacturing industry.
And what's the direction, you said for the environment, give us 30 seconds left, what's your piece on the environment? I know there's a balance.
My piece is sustainability. Achieve what is right for the oil industry and achieve what is right for the environment.
And you believe that's possible?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on our show. There's so much more to talk about, but it's been a wonderful conversation.
Thank you.
Have a thought or two you want to share about what Ralph Klein said during our interview? We'll tell you how to do just that when The Standard returns.